When you have to move water fast, it's not about just finding hose. It's about finding the right connections, the right adapters, the right deployment plan. That's why a readiness plan is so important, especially if you're a water or wastewater utility. A water source can go down for many reasons. It could be a planned shutdown and require a temporary bypass. It also can be a job site that needs high volume of water for whatever reason. Also can be a local emergency or a local disaster that may need to move water from one point to another with very little time to plan. And in these moments, crews need more than just a pile of parts. They need a practical temporary conveyance system that fits the job. Temporary pipeline or portable pipeline systems, like we like to call them, is about moving water above the ground where it needs to go without building a permanent pipeline. Depending on the application, that could mean potable water, wastewater, raw water, fire defense water, or other temporary water transfer needs, maybe for a job. The right setup depends on the distance, your flow target, your working pressure range, water type, connection points, and field conditions or terrain, basically. That is why planning the full system matters before the job actually starts. First, you need the right hose. I know this sounds repetitive. Hose size, pressure ratings, length, service type all matter. A potable water application may have different requirements than raw water, fire water, or construction support. Okay, second, you need the right connections. I know this sounds very obvious, but not everything is readily available like you think. This may include pump connections, hydrant connections or adapters, manifolds, valves, flanges, cam locks, you name it. It keeps going. But a lot of connections are not always stored in inventory. This is where you really have to do your homework depending on the project and your pipeline system. Third, you need a readiness plan or a deployment plan. This is where lay flat hose systems or above the ground piping systems becomes very valuable when you have a plan already set, because it answers big questions. What areas in your system are high value that you need to prepare beforehand with adapters or special types of fittings? Also, who will be in charge of transporting the equipment or hose when it goes out so they take accountability for anything that happens? How will it be laid out? How will your crews connect it and monitor it when it's actually on the field doing its job? Then later retrieving it, then later storing it. These are all questions that need to be answered beforehand before you go out, and even better if you have a plan laid out so that your whole crew understands what's going on. Those details matter before crews go actually out in the field. Now, we do have some use cases we can show you on YouTube. I'm going to link the description in some of these cases where we have full videos and we talk about each situation. But just to give you a summary of some of the common use cases for moving water fast that we've encountered. There was a job in San Jose Water where there was a failed street and they had to temporarily give water to people for actually several months. Contra Costa Water District, they had a really bad storm with lots of rain, and basically a river of water came through and it created a landslide. Seattle, they had a water main break on a bridge, and they had to completely bypass the bridge for weeks. San Diego had a small capital project that needed temporary water, and so they gave temporary water through small hose and fittings. So every project, as you see, is different, but the goal is the same: move water where it needs to go with a system that makes sense on the conditions and the terrain. At Portable Pipeline Systems, we help customers with the whole water conveyance system and plan. So the planning part is very important, and it's not just one piece of equipment. That means matching the hose fittings, the hose itself, couplings, connection points, and deployment approach, which is very important to the actual job conditions. For utilities, contractors, public works teams, and emergency response crews, that planning can reduce confusion in the field, which is critical, and help crews move faster when time matters. Well, if you have a project that you're worried about, or an emergency plan, or a local disaster that might be in the back of your head that you're thinking, I wish I could plan better for that, please give us a call or get in contact with us and let us know what you're dealing with, your lengths, your pressures, what high value targets in your pipe system you're really worried about. Those are all things that can go into a plan, and later the plan dictates the equipment. So please reach out to us. My name's Isaac, your host, and like I always say, think ahead.